What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my ranking for all 6 movies in the Transformers franchise. Over the last few months, I've recently reviewed all 6 movies in the franchise and everything, and I thought I'd go ahead and do my ranking. This has kind of been a long-awaited ranking and stuff. Most of them have been pretty easy to rank, though. It's one of those franchises that has a lot of lows and quite a few highs. It's like a really mixed franchise for me, but I'm gonna go ahead and get going. Coming in at number 6 is Transformers Dark of the Moon. This is easily my least favorite movie in the franchise. It's the one that I just do not remember really, and stuff, because it was so bad and everything. It is really slow paced. There's a new character in here that replaces Megan Fox's character, Michaela. I can't even remember her name or the actress's name, but she's terrible. The actress is terrible in the movie. She's not even an actress, she's a model, and she gave a really bad performance, and her chemistry with Shia LaBeouf is terrible, and the story just was not very good and everything. I really didn't like this one at all, really, to be honest with you. It's really forgettable. Really, aside from the terrible acting from her, and Shia LaBeouf, you could tell, was kind of getting tired of being in these movies and stuff too. Like, his performance wasn't as good and everything, and Patrick Dempsey was okay as like one of the human villains, but aside from that, there's not really much about this movie that I remember or really even liked, and the pacing is absolutely terrible. It's one of the longest movies in the franchise. It's not the longest, but it's one of them, and it really drags out a lot. So this one is easily my least favorite. So Transformers Dark of the Moon is number 6, and number 5 is Transformers Age of Extinction. This one was okay. I didn't hate it, I didn't love it. There was a lot of stuff in this movie that they could have cut out and stuff, and it would have probably been better. There's like this whole subplot with the dad and daughter, and the daughter dating and stuff, and him not liking the boyfriend and all that and everything. They could have cut some of that stuff out of here, and like most of the movies in this franchise, it's over long. This one's 2 hours and 45 minutes and everything. Is really hard to get through because it is really long, and it just kind of gets really slow and stuff, especially in the middle and everything. So it's one of those that drags on a little bit too much and everything. I normally don't complain about running time, but if a movie drags and stuff, it does kind of hurt it and everything. And this one, it did hurt and everything. But I will say it's a giant step up from Dark of the Moon and everything, but I still wouldn't say it's a extremely great movie either. It's just alright. And I also wish that the Dinobots would have been in here a lot more. They advertised them like crazy and stuff, and they're only in here in the 3rd act, which kind of ruined the ending of the movie too. So that kind of disappointed me as well. But I will say that Grimlock looks really awesome, though. He's always been one of my favorite Transformers and everything, and he looks really awesome. But yeah, so Transformers Age of Extinction is number 5, and number 4 is Transformers The Last Night. A lot of people would say this is the bottom of the barrel for them and everything, and I can completely get it. It really has an incohesive story and everything. There was a lot of plot lines going on in this movie, and it had way too much going for it and everything, but I still have fun with it. I like some of the newer characters, like the one played by Isabella Merced. I think she's pretty good in this movie, and the visuals and stuff, visually looks really great cinematography, and the action scenes are fun to watch and stuff. But like with Age of Extinction, it does have a lot of parts where it's just really boring and stuff, and like I said, too many plot lines. There was so much stuff going on in this movie. They should have probably figured out a way to do this in 2 different movies or something, but I enjoy it. I think it's a fun turn your brain off movie and everything, but I'm really glad that they're trying to go in a different direction with this franchise after the way this one was a failure with critics and fans. So even though I think this is definitely better than 3 and 4, it's not a whole lot better. It's just still pretty, one of those is just kind of okay and everything. So Transformers The Last Knight is number 4, and number 3 is Transformers, the first one from 2007. This one is one that I really loved when it first came out. I was like hugely into it, and I still enjoy it quite a bit. I think it's a fun movie and stuff, but it just isn't one that I like to revisit very often and stuff. It's a really kind of cringy now and stuff. The dialogue is really terrible, and the acting isn't super great, but it's not super terrible either. It's just kind of mediocre, but I think the actors did the best they could with what they had to work with. If they had better written dialogue and stuff, I think it would have worked better, but it did have some pretty good special effects that still hold up all these years later, and it is still a really entertaining first movie in the franchise and everything, and it is definitely still one of the best in the franchise. So Transformers is number 3, and number 2 is Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. This is one of the ones that a lot of people hate, and I can understand that. Actually, I don't really know anybody that would even say this is one of their favorites. Most people would have this right next to The Last Knight as one of the worst movies in the franchise, if not the worst, and everything. A lot of that had to do with the writer's strike that was going on back when this movie was being made and everything. But I personally really enjoyed it. I think it is a lot of fun. There is a really corny subplot though, where Sam and Michaela don't want to tell. They want to tell each other they love each other, but they don't. Neither one of them wants to be the first to say it, and it's really cheesy and stuff. But aside from that, I really like this movie, and I think it's a really entertaining story and everything. It does have some really crazy sexual innuendos and stuff like this. This movie is pretty dirty for a Transformers movie as well. I thought that was kind of crazy, but it's a fun time. I've always enjoyed this one quite a bit and everything. But yeah, so Transformers Revenge of the Fallen is number 2. And my number 1 favorite movie in the Transformers franchise is Bumblebee. I really love this movie. I remember when I went to see it in the theater, I was kind of skeptical. I went really over the Transformers franchise. I enjoy these movies as turn your brain off movies, kind of like I do with the Fast and Furious franchise, although I think those movies are a lot better than these. But I really enjoy Bumblebee. I think it's a really great movie, and out of all the Transformer movies, this is the one that I actually think is a legit great movie and everything. I've only seen it a couple times, but both times I absolutely loved it, and it's really entertaining. Great cast, especially Haley Steinfeld. She just is amazing in here, and this movie does remind me a lot of movies like E.T. and The Iron Giant, other movies where like that and everything. It's not really anything new, but it just is done really well, and it's really entertaining, and a really great movie in the franchise, and so far it's the only one that I would consider to be a really great movie, not just a fun turn your brain off movie and stuff. So it's easily number 1. But let me know in the comments what you think of the Transformers movies, and if you want, tell me your ranking. If you don't want to do your full ranking, tell me your favorite and least favorite. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.